Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah, Wachera. I hope you guys have woken up well and are excited to face your day. For me, I'm really, really excited and looking forward to the conversation we'll have today. Yeah? As it is the norm here at the Younib Breakfast Show, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. What we eat doesn't just fill our stomach, it fuels our body, sharpens our minds, and even shapes our mood. Yet, with so much information and misinformation out there, it's easy to feel confused about what's really healthy. Today, we are here to break it down. From understanding the basics of a balanced diet to debunking popular food myths and exploring how nutrition impacts our mental and physical health, we've got you covered. Remember, this show is proudly brought to you by Miss Ashen and Younib organization, and we're trying to reach out to the community to teach you on matters mental health. So if you need any psychological help, you can always call the number 0700 352 250, and our very own psychologist will be able to help you out. Remember, if you want to interact with us, suggest topics or conversations that you want to hear from us, you can always do that through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. Today's conversation is all about nutrition. We want to know how well we should be eating, and also how does nutrition really affect our mental health. And to help us be able to debunk this conversation is a guest who in a few I'll be introducing to you. Good morning.
Good morning.
How is your morning?
My morning is okay. How about yours?
I'm also feeling good and actually energetic to have this conversation.
Awesome.
Yes, so karibu sana. Please
Asante.
feel at home. Feel
Thank you.
comfortable.
Thank you.
Yes. I'd like you to actually look at the camera, introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Phylis Karanja. I am a nutritionist. I work at Teams Nutrition Consultancy.
Okay, so we've gotten to know who our guest is, and again, our conversation for the day is about nutrition and mental health. Yeah, so to start us off, people may be hearing about nutrition, so I'd like us to know what exactly is nutrition and why is it important for our general health.
Nutrition is a science that deals with the nutrients that we get from food, and these nutrients, what they do to our bodies. So nutrition is basically about the food we eat and the nutrients that we get from the food and how it affects our bodies.
Okay, interesting. I hope we will get to learn more and also get educated more on matters nutrition. Yeah. So I remember back in, for those people who did 844, the 844 system, we used to be taught about balanced diet. What are the components of the balanced diet? I'm not sure about the CBC right now, or the CBS, as people are calling it out here. But I'd like us to just be refreshed when it comes to this matters conversation about balanced diet. So what are the components of a balanced diet?
The components of a balanced diet are still the same, the 5: carbohydrates, vitamins, fats, minerals, and water. Water is the most overlooked, but it is very, very important. So for the carbohydrates, to be in a position where you know that you're doing a nutritious meal, you need the complex carbohydrates, that is the grains, the normal grains that we have, the ndengus, the lentils, and then we have the proteins, which come basically from meat, fish, eggs, and also there are some legumes that have protein, like the beans. Then we also have our fruits and vegetables, which are the vitamins, and these are the ones that help us to fight diseases. Then we also have water. Water is very important, and we need to keep taking water every day.
Oh, interesting. I like the fact that you've added water in it, because most of us, we usually just know it's about carbohydrates, it's about proteins, it's about the starch. The starch is the same as carbohydrates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so carbohydrates, proteins, and vitamins. Yeah, I had forgotten that. And vitamins, right?
Yes.
But bringing the additionally, water is something that most of us really ignore. and so many people don't like drinking water. Kwanza, we're in the time of cold right now. You'll hear just people saying, I mean, maji hapana kidogo. It's a problem, but I like the fact that you've added the component there. Yeah. So how can someone know if they're getting the right nutrients in their meals?
Now, to know whether you're getting the right nutrients, you have to look out on some signs from your body. First of all, it's you can look at the digestion. Are you bloating? How are you feeling in your gut? You can look at your skin. Sometimes the skin could show some deficiencies, or maybe you're not getting enough for good, healthy skin. You can also look out at how you feel, like fatigue. Sometimes fatigue is not just because you're tired, it's because you're not getting the correct nutrients and good sleep.
Okay, interesting. We in our modern day nowadays, you'll find a lot of people ordering food, a lot of people not getting time because of work. They don't get time to cook. So how can somebody who is busy maintain good nutrition with limited time to cook?
If you're a busy person, one of the things that you can do is plan ahead. There are those days that you're free, like your off day. That is the day you can have a list of what you need, the healthy foods that you need, and maybe purchase them. And sometimes you can even prepare them before, like boiling the legumes, pre-cutting some of the things and putting them in the fridge, so that when it's time to cook and you don't have much time, you have everything prepared and you can use it. The other way is buying the pre-cooked foods, the healthy pre-cooked foods. You can have them, you can buy them and have and keep them so that it's easy for you. You can also look at recipes that have very few ingredients, so that when you're cooking, you don't take too much time to prepare your food.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a lot of debate that comes in with refrigerating food. Does it really lower the nutrients in any food?
It doesn't really lower the nutrients, but you should also be careful about the time that you keep. If it's within a week, 2 weeks, that's not a big problem. But if you keep it for a very long time, it could alter the value of the nutrients.
Okay. I hope you're following up with this conversation and we're getting to learn more about nutrition and all matters nutrition, yeah? So I'd like to know, you've told us about meal prepping, yeah? I'd like us to go to some affordable and healthy food choices people can make on a budget, because we are in this day and age, kwanza with this economy. For some people may say the healthy food are quite expensive. So how can we be able to have affordable and healthy food choices?
Okay. Actually, the saying of affordable, the natural and healthy foods are expensive might not be completely true. Why am I saying this? For example, if you decide to have more of plant source proteins, they are actually cheaper than meat.
Yeah.
You see? So those are some of the things that you could decide to have more if you're doing the budgeting, like the beans, like lentils, dengu. There are so many types of legumes that you could have. Then also for the fruits, if you want to always have a fruit like every day, look out for the ones in season. So if it's oranges, you have the oranges when they're on season. When you move to the mango season, you go with what is in the season, so that it's affordable.
So it's interesting. So most people will always give utasema, oh, sina pesa ya kununua ndo ni keep a diet. But sometimes also there's this thing that people are doing, having kitchen garden. Like they are planting their own food in their kitchen. Mostly, even though you don't even have space, I'm seeing a lot of people even doing sacks with spinach, with vegetables, with some actually fruits. And they really, I think they may be able to come as a long-term affordability way or strategy that people can be able to use. So there are a lot of things that you can always try so that you can keep a healthy diet, yeah? So coming back to our conversation, we've always had people saying that there's different actually myths and misconceptions that come with dieting. What are some of them?
Okay, some of the misconceptions we have are maybe carbohydrates are bad. which is necessarily not true, because there are some carbohydrates that are bad and some that are good. We also have the myth that fats are bad, and some of the fats actually help in the cardiovascular health, like it helps to prevent heart attacks and all that. So it depends with the source of the nutrients that you're eating. Yes.
Okay, when during your weight loss journey, there are some people who will tend to actually fast rather than eat. Is that really good for their body and their well-being?
Okay. Fasting, first of all, before you go on a weight loss journey, you need to see a professional so that you're able to find out whether you might be having some underlying conditions, so that if you get into maybe intermittent fasting, you're guided so that it doesn't bring other conditions. However, those fasting, and there's the detox method, and there's also keto, sometimes may not be sustainable because they are very restrictive, and it might not help you for a long time. It will work, you will lose weight, but it might not help for a long time. So you need something that is sustainable. So maybe after the intermittent fasting or the keto diet, once you achieve what you wanted to achieve, you also need a guideline where when you get back to like your routine, the portions and all that, so that you can maintain what you wanted to achieve.
Okay, interesting. I hope we are getting to learn more about this conversation. And before we take a short break, I'd like to ask the question of the day. And our question of the day today is, what's one food you know you need to eat less of but can't seem to give up? Please let us know through our social media platforms, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. Let's take this short break and we'll be back with more conversations on nutrition and also giving back your feedback. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera. Remember, this show is proudly brought to you by Miss Your Ashen and Younib Organization, and we're trying to reach out to the community to teach you on matters mental health. So if you need any psychological help, you can always call the number 0700 352 250, and our very own psychologist will be able to help you out. Remember, if you want to interact with us, give us your feedback, suggest conversations that you want to hear from us, you can always do that through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. Yeah, let's get to your feedback. I had asked the question of the day, which is, what's one food you know you need to eat less of but can't seem to give up? Someone says fries. I know they are deep fried and not the best for my health, but I just can't resist them. Someone else says, I keep telling myself to quit soda, but every time I'm stressed or tired, I find myself reaching for a cold Coke. Someone else says chocolate. I've tried hiding it, switching brands, even going cold turkey. Doesn't work. It's my comfort snack. Someone says sugar in my tea. I know I should cut down, but I can't take it without at least 2 spoons. Someone else says pizza. I know I should limit it, but Friday nights feels incomplete without it. Someone says, honestly, everything fried, it is sizzled. If it's sizzled in oil, I'm sold. I tell myself every Monday that I'll start eating clean. Then Thursday comes and boom, nyama choma. Thank you so much for your feedback. I have still a lot to sample, but because of time, allow me to stop there. Yeah. Before we come back to the conversation, I'd like you to actually talk about some of the unhealthy foods that we always feel like we want to eat. Either you're stressed, you see somebody will go for a snack and say, I'm stress eating. Yeah. So what does it do to our health? And maybe even comment on, is it okay or is it not?
Okay. Stress eating is quite common, and I would say that what influences a lot of stress eating is the adverts that we have nowadays on the foods that are not healthy and are labeled to be healthy. So they make us to move away from the natural foods and the foods. We could also have other foods that we can take and still feel the comfort. Yeah. So the advertisements on the supermarkets and on TV sometimes make us to go away. Like, for example, you'll be told when you're stressed, you take a Sprite, you end up taking something that doesn't really help. And you could take water and it works for you. Water has no calories and you still cool down. So I would say stress eating can be used in a healthy way. But now we have been cultured to think that stress eating, we need an ice cream, we need a piece of cake. Yeah. So we end up, that Monday goal has just been
forgotten.
Yes.
Okay. It's about time we try to go for those healthy food, because I know for a fact that there are like crepes that are made from organic food. I think that could be a better option rather than just going for crepes, the normal crepes you're used to. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Also, stress eating, we should also be very careful, even if we're doing the healthier options, because it could still lead to like maybe obesity, because you'll end up, maybe you're doing the stress eating and then you eat too much, it will still end up to obesity. It doesn't mean that because you're doing a healthy option that it will not lead to the lifestyle diseases. So I think during that time of stress, you could try other things, like maybe taking a walk. Water is pretty good because it's 0 calorie. Yeah, you can try other methods so that you can reduce the stress, and maybe monitor what is bringing the stress and try to reduce it.
Okay, awesome. So the best way that you can be able to improve yourself is by actually trying different ways instead of eating, right?
Yes.
Okay. I hope you are taking notes, guys, because this is it's a serious conversation that all of us, in one way or another, we find ourselves in those situations. Yeah. Yeah. So we often hear about detoxing. Many people will detox with juices, others with smoothies. How workable is detoxing in real sense when it comes to nutrition? And also, does it even help the body, really?
Our bodies are made in a way that they detox naturally. We have the liver and the kidney. So we really don't need those detox juices to detox ourselves, because the body already does that for us.
So kuna haja kuchukua the organic yenye watu wanatengeneza concoction ya asubuhi, take turmeric in the morning, do this.
There's really no need. We
There's no need.
actually might be harming our liver than we know. Yes, because all these have different nutrients, or what do I call them? So the liver will have to also process them. So still, you could be overloading your liver without knowing, and you're saying you're detoxing. The best way to detox, like detox, is water and vegetables and fruits. Yeah, that's the only best way
of detoxing.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope we are taking notes, guys. It's important for us to actually have this conversation and to learn, because mostly we might be saying we're doing good to our bodies, but at the end of the day, we are just killing our bodies slowly. So it's important for us to understand this conversation and to get to learn more about it. Yeah. Okay, actually, here at the Uni Breakfast Show, we've been doing a lot of shows on mental health. Yeah. I'd like to know what nutrition does when it comes to our mental health. How does it affect our mental health?
So nutrition can affect the mental health, and one of the ways it can affect is having if you're not taking the right foods, you could have deficiencies like iron, vitamin B's deficiencies, and omega-3, and this will directly affect your mental health, because, like, for example, the iron helps to carry the oxygen to the brain. So that means if you don't have adequate oxygen to the brain, your brain you will get a lot of fatigue. Your brain will not be able to function very well. We have the vitamin B's, which are good for the nerves. This also affects the brain function. And then the omega-3 helps in the brain cells. So if you're not able to get that in your diet, you'll definitely have an issue with your brain. So that means if you have good nutrition and you're able to get these nutrients in your diet, you'll have a better brain that's functioning very well. And also it goes still to the eyesight, the brains, all that. It will help you to have your brain function well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like the fact that you've brought up supplements in the conversation, because I'm really curious to know, like, if, for example, a person is having a balanced diet daily, is it important or is it necessary for them to actually take supplements?
It might not be necessary per se, but sometimes we could be doing balanced diet, but because of the way we have diversified in how the foods are grown and how they are cooked, we could lose out on some few nutrients. So we'll end up still needing the supplements. But if there is no really alarming issue, we would say that you don't need the supplements as such. But sometimes you need them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I hope we are getting to understand more about nutrition and we're taking notes. As I usually say, it's important once you're tuned into the Uni Breakfast Show to always have your notebook and your pen or even your phone at the notebook place where you can be able to take notes, that because we ensure that we give you information that will help you become a better person and help you even become more informed when it comes to different matters in our lives. Yeah. So I'd like to know, because most times, and I know I'm not alone, but many people always say for them to see a nutritionist, it means they are ill somewhere. It means either they have gone to hospital and they've been told, okay, you need to start working on your diet, and that is when they'll start thinking about a nutritionist. Yeah. Which is a myth. Anybody can actually go and see a nutritionist to be able to make their life better. Yeah. So my question is, how does nutrition play a role in preventing or managing chronic illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, or obesity?
Now, nutrition plays a big role in managing the lifestyle diseases, that's the chronic illnesses, because, like, for example, diabetes. If you take a lot of refined sugars for a long time, it could lead to diabetes, especially the type 2 diabetes, which is insulin resistant. So there's also the cardiovascular diseases, which would be caused by taking too much processed foods. Yeah. So a lot of the chronic illnesses might be linked to poor nutrition, like what people take. And
So as we get to also digest what we are getting to learn more about nutrition, I want us to take this short break, and we'll be back with more conversations about nutrition as we continue learning about the basics of dieting. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera, and my lovely guest here, and we're learning more about nutrition, yeah? So without wasting any time, I'd like to know the importance of meal planning and how can one start?
For meal planning, number one, we are Africans and we are used to doing things on the spot.
Yeah.
So for you to start, you can start with a weekly plan. So you can do your meals and say for the next, from Monday to Sunday, what you need to eat, make a list of what you need, and then you shop with a plan. So once you shop with a plan, it means if you go to the supermarket, you won't just go for anything on offer because it's on offer. And most of the time, the things on offer are also not very healthy options. So that would be one of the ways that you could start. If you're not able to do a weekly plan, like you're not able to buy all the weekly supplies, if you have a plan, at least you'll go back to your plan. Today, I am doing ugali and skuma. So you already know what to buy for that day. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So we get to understand why it's important to actually do a meal plan. Yes, and don't forget to actually use the components that we were told in the first segment, which are important for your nutrition. Yeah. I'd like to know now, what small changes, if I'm somebody who would like to start eating healthy, what small changes can I do to be able to make my dieting different?
Okay, you can add a fruit in your meals or vegetables, like one vegetable in one of your meals. If you have not been doing the vegetables and fruits, that's one step ahead. If you're a person who does a lot of soda, you can substitute with water. And if you're not able to take plain water, you can add maybe lemon in the water, cucumber in the water. There are so many options to make you take the water in a healthy way. You can also use smaller plates. Okay, so that if you're doing portion control, if you're on the journey of doing portion control, the plate will be smaller, and in that plate you'll be able to segment, like vegetables are more, the carbohydrates are less. that way you'll help yourself to do the portion control. Yes.
My next question is also on portion control. Yeah. So why is it important for us to, or for somebody to be able to start portion control?
The reason why we should start portion control is, number one, if maybe you're on a weight loss journey and you're not able to use all these other methods that are available, portion control is one of them that is good, and it's sustainable, because once you get used to it, you are doing all the types of food that you need, and you're also doing it in a way that is sustainable. Then also it helps you not to overeat, because sometimes we don't eat because we are hungry. We eat because maybe I just feel I need this thing.
Yeah.
So portion control will help you with that, because you'll be able to be fashioned in a way that when you know that you're finished that plate that you decided to reduce to, you're done. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I want to actually ask a question that is not the same as what we've been discussing. So I'd like you to just look at the camera and tell us, why is it important that somebody should see a nutritionist?
Okay, the reason why anybody or somebody could see a nutritionist is, number one, to know your nutrition status. Sometimes we could be thinking that we are healthy enough, yet when we do the nutrition assessments, we find that there are some things that are lacking here and there. The other thing is so that you can be able to prevent to get this the chronic illnesses. Like, for example, if you have a family that is predisposed to diabetes, a nutritionist will help you to have better choices so that you avoid such kind of diseases. Then also, a nutritionist can also help you in planning your meals, like your home meals, so that you can be able to have an all-inclusive meals in your home. Yes.
Okay, interesting. So if you've always asked yourself, why should I go and see a nutritionist? Now you have the answers. You can be able to go see a nutritionist. Usigoje ati ugonjeke ndo utafute nutritionist. You can always go seek for a nutritionist. Yeah. So as we are wrapping up, I'd like you to just, for example, for somebody who has just tuned in right now and maybe has not watched us from the beginning of the show, what is a parting shot that you can be able to give to a viewer out there?
My parting shot would be, food marketing does not sell nutrition, it sells desire.
Awesome. I hope it is as short and clear to the point, and I hope we've gotten to understand what it all entails. So asante sana for your time, for coming and helping us get to learn more about nutrition. Yeah, I feel like most of our viewers now are much better informed when it comes to the conversation on nutrition. We've gotten to understand some of the things that we've been deeming is okay, like detoxing. Yeah, we've gotten to also learn that sometimes we may be doing harm. So it's important also, if you want to detox, go seek help from your nutritionist, and then now you can know, am I doing the right thing? Yeah. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you coming here.
Welcome.
Yes, and definitely feel free to come back. You're welcome. To everyone who's made this show a success, thank you so much, Elias Mujina, for being our camera person and also our director. Asante sana for the good work. And to you, our viewers, thank you for always tuning into the Younib Breakfast Show every Tuesday and Wednesday morning to be able to come and learn more about your mental health, about your lifestyle conversations, different things that we always have in store for you. Yeah. Until next time, do have yourselves a beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.